Well, thank you very much, all of you, for coming out, and thank you very much for your patience while we got all of the technical stuff ready. Really appreciate it. My name is Aaron. I'm the manager of community development from Harmonix. I will tell you how to spell my name later, so you can have a decent shot at that. And I am here with Christine Kayser. She is the web manager at Harmonix, and also my roadie. So she'll be running the PowerPoint presentation while we walk through a little bit of what we have to show you for Rock Band 4 today. Because you've actually already gotten a chance to play, you already have a pretty good idea of what we're bringing with Rock Band 4, so you have a nice advantage. I'm the manager of community development at Harmonix. That means that I am on our forums, I am on our Twitter and Facebook channels, talking to all of our fans. I get to go to all the shows where we show Rock Band 4. So I get to listen to all of the fans, and they tell me what would make the best game, and then I get to go back to the office and tell the developers, the ones with the real talent, I tell them, make the game that the fans want. And I think that we're closer than ever to that goal with Rock Band 4. Hit it, Christine. System works. Fantastic. So Rock Band 4 is being developed for next-gen consoles, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It is, of course, developed by us at Harmonix. We are the premier video game developer for music games. And I can say that with no shame. We've been making music games since 1995. We developed Guitar Hero 1 and Guitar Hero 2. We developed Rock Band 1, Rock Band 2, Beatles Rock Band 3, anything with the Rock Band name on it, that's all us. We have a tremendous amount of pride in our titles, and a lot of the developers that had worked on those previous games are now working on Rock Band 4. So we have a ton of experience with the band game formula and with music games in general. We are, of course, partnered with Mad Catz because while we know music games better than anyone in the world, they know music instruments better than anyone. They've developed the hardware before. They've worked with us for Rock Band 3, and we're partnering with them again for Rock Band 4, and they've made improvements to all of the hardware. The gear that you played with on stage is legacy hardware. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit. But we do have some of the brand new guitars and some of the brand new drum sets over to the side. And I urge you to get your hands on those so you can feel some of the new features that we've been talking about. They're not quite playable in-game yet because everything that we are showing today is pre-alpha, but we're very excited to get that hardware up and running on consoles shortly. Rock Band 4 is, of course, coming this year. There's not much of the year left, so that should give you an idea. It's sometime between today and December 31st. We haven't announced the official release date yet, but keep posted. E3 is, of course, right around the corner, and I'm sure there will be quite a few announcements at E3 that should give you an idea of when Rock Band 4 is coming out and all those other exciting details. So what is Rock Band 4? It's the game that you were just playing. We only have a fraction of the game playable today, but that should hopefully give you an idea of where we're at. It's the same core gameplay that people know and love. It's the 5-button gameplay for the guitar. It's the same drums that people know. It's vocals that people know. We're very excited to be bringing the full band game back. That's something that's very important to us. We were the first studio to develop a band game with Rock Band 1, and we're excited to improve on that with Rock Band 4 and bring people the best full band music game experience. We are focused more than ever. We're concentrating on the core band. That's, as I mentioned, guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. We wanted to concentrate on the instruments that people are most familiar with, concentrate on the instruments that most people already own. We want to concentrate on the instruments that are easiest to find in rock music. We had a keyboard peripheral for Rock Band 3. Not as many people had the keyboard peripheral as had some of these other instruments. And the Pro Guitar, for example, that we had for Rock Band 3 was very similar. And it's not always as easy to find a rock song with a killer keyboard part, for example. So we're focusing now on the core, which should represent almost any rock song that you could think of. We're also planning to make Rock Band 4 the Rock Band game for this console generation. That means that we're not planning on cranking out Rock Band 5 3 months from now. That means that you're not going to see Rock Band 6 by the end of 2016. We want to support Rock Band 4 the way we've supported the past Rock Band games. When we released Rock Band 1 in 2007, we started releasing DLC that very week, and we continued that every week for 281 consecutive weeks. That's an enormous library of content that we've built. And with Rock Band 4, we now have the opportunity to continue that kind of support, to release more downloadable content, to release more features after launch, whether that's as downloadable content or whether as title updates. If we find that our fans want more competitive features, for example, we could add more competitive features. If we find out that they want more clothing assets for their characters in-game, we could make those available. We have a really unique opportunity with these consoles to be able to support Rock Band 4, not just for a month after launch and not just through holiday, but for the entire console generation. In addition to maintaining the core gameplay that people already know and love about Rock Band, we're also looking to innovate. It's not just surface innovation where it looks like things have changed. We want to fundamentally improve the way people play Rock Band 4. A lot of that stems from self-expression, the idea that when you go and see your favorite band play in concert, or if you play an instrument yourself, you know that people playing music don't just stand there perfectly still and looking at their feet and trying to play a song exactly the way it was recorded. And that's a lot of what happens in Rock Band. But we think that we can add some new innovations, features that will branch out from that, that will allow for more creative expression, that will allow for more individual creativity, that can really allow you to personalize songs in ways that you've never been able to in Rock Band previously. Some of those kind of innovative features include Freestyle Vocals. Christine is our expert vocalist on this tour. You do not want to hear me sing, so if we hop up and do a demo for you later, I will let her hop on the mic. Freestyle Vocals will allow an expert vocalist to put their own unique spin on a song. But it's not just for experts. It's also accessible to novices. If someone maybe doesn't have perfect pitch, they're no longer penalized now for not singing exactly along with the song as it's recorded or as it's authored in game. They have a little bit more leeway. As long as they're singing in the same key, they can still score well and still help out their band. Dynamic drum fills work in a similar way. The old drum fills for Rock Band 4, previous to Rock Band 4, were not always the most fluid. People didn't always know what to play in those sections when they had to activate overdrive for drums. It didn't always play well and didn't always sound great when people would just kind of thrash around. So we've created a dynamic back catalog, a library of drum fills that will be slotted into songs where appropriate, so that drum fills will now sound better than ever. We're also focusing on a feature that we call shows, which I believe you had some time to play with up on stage earlier. Shows are kind of the ongoing party mode for Rock Band 4. We will, of course, have features where you can play one song at a time if you'd like to, but there's also this idea that a show will create an ongoing party experience so you can choose songs without having to back out to a library, scroll through your set list, decide who's going to play what instrument, what difficulty. If you choose to play in a show, you get to finish a song, and then at the end of your first song, you will vote on the song that you get to play next. And voting allows for some really interesting opportunities for a band to work together. That's something else that we're really focused on for Rock Band 4. The idea that the band isn't just 4 single players who all happen to be in the same room together. The band is a unit that has to work together. It's a guitarist and bassist activating overdrive at the same time. It's a drummer counting in the rest of the band. It's vocalists warming the crowd up and getting them ready for a performance. These are all things that we've never been able to tackle before Rock Band 4, and so now we're really excited to be able to focus more on the idea of a band, and the show is the perfect experience to show that off. You could be prompted to pick a song. You can vote for maybe something as broad as a song from the 1990s, or maybe it's play a metal song. It could be something more specific, like play Somebody Told Me by the Killers, or something instrument specific, like play a song with a female vocalist. And maybe if Christine's singing, she really wants to play that song with a female vocalist. And if I'm the guitarist, maybe I want to play that metal song because I know that it has a really awesome solo and it's really fast. If Christine votes for one and I vote for the other, we'll have to work with our bassist and our drummer to help break that tie. So there's a lot of awesome inter-band communications where, you lobby for, no, pick my song. No, pick this song. I don't want to play that. And sometimes you end up with disagreements. Sometimes you end up with tiebreakers. At Harmonix, sometimes you end up with fistfights when developers in the office don't always agree on the song that they want to play next. But it allows you to move to the next song much quicker than ever before. So it's more dynamic than a random set list, and more fluid than having to back out and sort through menus, which is a little bit clunkier. The audience will respond more dynamically in Rock Band 4 than they ever have before. That comes in the form of crowd sing-alongs. If you're playing really well, the crowd rather will sing along with you. They may chant specific songs. They may ask for an encore. And you can choose whether you're going to tailor your play style to the audience demands if you'd like. There's more opportunity than ever to engage with the crowd. I think Christine earlier showed off, you welcome the band, you say, "Hello, Boston, how are you?" Our studio's in Boston, so we're a little bit biased. But you can talk to the crowd, and if you do that well, then they will cheer for you and they'll be excited for you to play. If you don't follow that prompt, the crowd will start to get impatient, and they will start to boo, or they will start to yell, "Hey, hurry up! What are you waiting for? Get going!" So it's one of those features that helps create a more immersive experience, feeling like you're actually there with a crowd that is responding to how you play. Rock Band 4 still has the most music of any music game, period. We have, of course, new music. We've announced 6 songs for disc so far, tracks from Avenged Sevenfold, Fleetwood Mac, Jack White, Spin Doctors, The Killers, and The Who. There's many more to come. We have dozens of additional songs that we're going to be announcing. We try to take the set list very, very seriously. It's something that we're passionate about at Harmonix. We try to think of it as a mixtape that Harmonix is making just for you. So we want to make sure that we're representing as many genres as possible, as many decades as possible. Huge chart-topping bands, legendary Hall of Fame acts, and also new up-and-coming bands that we love that the rest of the world may not be as familiar with yet. There's a little bit of an educational element to the Rock Band set list. So we look forward to introducing the world to some new bands as well. The back catalog for Rock Band is obviously enormous. That 281 weeks of consecutive DLC that I spoke to earlier, all of those songs, over 1,500 songs, will carry forward to Rock Band 4. That means that a new player, when they fire up Rock Band 4, will have access to the largest library of any music game currently on the market. We get a lot of requests for that back catalog compatibility, and we know that that's very important to people. If people have bought songs on the Xbox 360 or the PS3, songs for Rock Band 1, 2, or 3, it's very, very important to them that they're able to keep those songs. When we first announced Rock Band 4, the #1 most common request was, "Will I get to keep my old songs?" And the answer is yes. If you bought 100 songs for Rock Band 2 on the PS3, for example, those 100 songs will be available to you in Rock Band 4 on the PS4. All of those DLC tracks that you've purchased will be compatible within the same console family at no additional cost. People have made a tremendous investment in their Rock Band soundtrack, and we want to make sure that we're supporting that investment. The fans have always been very good to us, and so we're making it a priority to take care of our fans as well. The second most frequent question that we get asked is, can I still use my old Rock Band game controllers? And the answer is yes. any guitars that you've bought for Rock Band, Rock Band 1, 2, 3, Beatles, any of those guitars, any of those drums, those microphones, all of that hardware that you've purchased previously, that will be compatible with Rock Band 4. We understand that that's another huge investment that our fans have made. People are still playing Rock Band, hundreds of thousands of unique players every month, so we know that a lot of people have saved that hardware. There's a lot of people that still have their drums tucked away in basements or guitars tucked in closets, and they're just waiting for the opportunity to bring them out. And now, because we've worked so hard with Microsoft and Sony and with Mad Catz, of course, we're working hard to make sure that those instruments are compatible with Rock Band 4, which is kind of unprecedented for this console generation. But it's a huge priority for us at Harmonix, making sure that we support those fans that have an investment in past Rock Band hardware. Of course, we need new hardware as well. There's a lot of people that have never played music games before, that don't have existing Rock Band hardware. There's a lot of people that in the 5 years since the last Rock Band game, they've parted ways with their hardware, or hardware that stopped functioning in the last 5 years. So we partner with Mad Catz to make sure that there's new instruments available to people that are looking for them, and that those improvements make the new Rock Band peripherals better than they've ever been before. There's improvements across all the instruments, the guitar, drums, and microphone. The improvements to the guitar range from more sensitive fret keys, so it feels smoother and more fluid than ever while you're playing. There's an improved tilt sensor mechanic, so it's easier to activate overdrive. And that tilt sensor also ties into several unannounced features that we'll be talking more about in the coming weeks. There's an improved auto-calibration feature, which makes it easier than ever to sync your guitar to your TV and your sound system. We want to make sure that people are able to get up and playing Rock Band 4 as quickly as possible. There's been improvements to the drums as well, sturdier drum pads, first and foremost, and sturdier kick pedal. Mad Catz has reinforced the kick pedal to take into account how heavily people stomp on that when they're playing. The drum pads, in addition to being sturdier, are also velocity sensitive, meaning the harder you hit them in your living room, the louder it sounds in game. So it's another way that you can add a more creative flourish to your play style and personalize that performance. The drum pads are also, thankfully, quieter than they've ever been before. I'm sure everyone's neighbors will appreciate that when there's long Rock Band parties. And I know that I appreciate it. We have almost a dozen people playing Rock Band 4, testing the instruments in the office. And when you have 12 people all playing the drums at once, it can be quite distracting. So now, thankfully, it's not as distracting as it has been in the past because the drums are quieter than they've ever been. And then the microphone, which is the only wired instrument in the band, the guitar and the drums are still wireless. The USB mic is wired, but the cable is longer than it's ever been before. So now people can feel free to run and jump around their living room and stage dive off their sofa to their heart's content. We've also improved the sensitivity on the microphone, so singers will sound clearer and crisper than they ever have before. That is the quick rundown of Rock Band 4. We've set the game up for you. You've already played a little bit. This is maybe a good opportunity for us to show some of those features off. Christine and I can hop up and give you a quick demo, run you through some of the show features, that song voting mechanic, those crowd interactions, and some of the more improvisational features. Hop up, see if we can build a band. We have around 30 songs playable in this build. This is running off PC right now, and these are not the new instruments, so please excuse the old road-worn hardware. We've been traveling with this gear for almost 6 years at this point. But because we are still running on PC, we're using older hardware. One, because it's what's compatible with the PC, and two, to also show off the hardware compatibility with Rock Band 4, to drive home the point that your legacy hardware will work with Rock Band 4. The new instruments, the guitars are right down here, and the drums are off to the side there, and you can get a close-up look at those after the demo. For our first song,
Want to do one of the new ones?
One of the new ones? Sure. What do you feel comfortable doing? You've got the hardest job. You're the singer, so.
Let's do the Killers.
Okay, so we'll start with one of the 6 songs that we've already announced for Rock Band 4, Somebody Told Me by the Killers. You're going to be on the wrong side of the screen. Will you live?
I'll live.
Okay. So we get to pick the first song in this show, and then when we wrap up this song, we'll be prompted to vote on the next song. We'll see how we do with this crowd. Take your time. Take your time.
Howdy, Boston.
You could hear the crowd get a little bit restless because Christine was taking too long.
Let the good times roll.
What a diva. The audience will wait. Oh, no, please, no, thank you. So that was our first song of the set. Not too bad. We'll see how the next song goes. You can see now that we have the option to vote. We can either choose more songs, which will allow us to keep playing indefinitely. If you want to play in a show for an hour, for 10 hours, for 100 hours, you can do that. It will keep prompting you to choose more songs for as long as you want to keep playing. It's the ideal party experience. It's the ideal party mode for Rock Band 4. But in the interest of time, I think we should probably choose our final songs. Looks like Christine agrees with me. We're both in agreement. So we're going to be picking the last 2 songs to round out our set list. You can see here that we're prompted for some very specific options, like a very specific song, Roll With The Changes by REO Speedwagon. Some that are a little less specific, broader, maybe a song by Megadeth, you know, a specific band. Or for an entire genre, something as broad as classic rock. So there's enough options here, and it will pull from your set list, or from the Rock Band 4 on disc set list, to generate what those songs are. I am a big fan of classic rock, so that's what I'm going to pick. And now we only have 5 seconds to pick the next one. Christine wants a song with a female vocalist, and because she has both controllers, she outvoted me. She pulled a fast one on me, and she got 2 votes to my 1. So we ended up with Just a Girl by No Doubt, a song with a female vocalist. For the second choice, I'm going to go for a song by Eddie Money, because I know that that song is 2 Tickets to Paradise. And, she was able to get that other one in. It was a 3-way tie, so we won't know what that song is until it pops up in the set list. So it will choose randomly. If you have a tie, there will be a random selection made based on that. So if we had a full band, we'd be able to work with them, and I'd be able to lobby and say, no, Eddie Money is great, like the song's really cool, play 2 Tickets to Paradise. And Christine would, you know, try to lobby with them as well for the song with a female vocalist. So it allows for some really interesting experiences where you're able to advocate for what you want to play. You can pick and choose based on what the crowd wants. If they've been, you know, begging for metal songs, you have to decide if you have to play metal songs or if you let the crowd down. And the crowd may not be thrilled if you pick something other than what they've asked for. So there's more opportunities than ever within Rock Band 4 to cater to that party experience, that full group together in the living room, to be able to draw on this huge library of songs and this like unbelievable installation base of hardware. People have millions of guitars and millions of drums. So Rock Band 4 really is the ideal music game experience for this console generation to tie all those things together. Thank you very much for coming out. That is our entire demo. You are more than welcome to come up and play some more if you'd like to. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to tackle me or someone from Mad Cats, and we'd be happy to talk more about Rock Band 4 with you.